Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Hard Truths, the podcast where we strip away the nonsense and talk about the real things that impact your growth. The truth is, not everyone is meant to go with you. This might be one of the hardest pills to swallow. See, when you start leveling up, whether it's your mindset, career, health, or relationships, you start noticing something. Some people don't want you to change. Not because they don't care about you, but because your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. And that's where the friction starts. You begin to feel it when your goals get dismissed, when your ambition is met with side eyes, when your wins get ignored instead of celebrated. You start feeling like the odd one out. And this is where most people face a choice. Do you stay the same to keep others comfortable? Or do you move forward knowing some people won't come with you? I've been there. It's tough. But let me tell you, there's nothing lonelier than surrounding yourself with people who don't support where you're going. So today, we're going deep on how to spot the people who hold you back, how to break free without guilt, and how to build a circle that fuels your future instead of chaining you to your past. Because the truth is, holding on to the wrong people doesn't just slow you down, it can stop you completely. And if you don't take control of this now, you might look back in 5 years and realize you've spent too much time keeping other people comfortable instead of chasing your potential. So why does this happen? Why is it that the second you start making progress, you notice some people distancing themselves, while others start trying to hold you back? It's not coincidence, and it's not random. There's a pattern to this. The moment you decide to level up, your relationships will get tested. Some people will cheer for you, others will resist your change. Sometimes subtly, sometimes outright. And it's not always out of malice. Often, it's actually out of fear. They fear losing you. They fear being left out. And sometimes, they fear that growth will force them to confront their own lack of progress. I remember when I started focusing on my goals, reading more, cutting out distractions, getting serious about my future. Some people supported me, but others, they threw out little comments like, "Why are you trying so hard?" Or, "You've changed." At first, I second-guessed myself. Was I really changing in a bad way? But then I realized, growth is supposed to change you. That's when I had to ask myself, am I staying the same for them? Or am I growing for me? So let me ask you, who around you is supporting your growth? And who is subtly pulling you back? Because if someone constantly downplays your progress, makes you feel guilty for evolving, or dismisses your ambition, guess what? They're not for you. And the longer you keep them close, the harder it will be to move forward. And this is what most people don't realize. Growth creates resistance. You don't even have to say a word. Just the fact that you're changing can make some people feel threatened. And that brings me to one of the biggest analogies for this, the crab bucket effect. See, if you put one crab in a bucket, it'll climb out. But if you put multiple crabs in the same bucket, something strange happens. The other crabs will pull down on the one trying to escape. Not because they hate that crab. Not because they want to kill it. They just don't want it to leave. And people do the same thing. When you try to break free, when you start doing better for yourself, some people around you will try to pull you back, not because they're evil, but because they're afraid. afraid of being left behind, afraid of being exposed for not trying hard enough, afraid of having to look at themselves and admit they could be doing more. I had a close friend who I thought would be my life forever. But every time I started making moves, getting serious about my future, they would try to downplay it. Why are you so focused on that? Just relax. At first, I ignored it. But over time, I realized they weren't just joking. They didn't want me to change because it made them feel uncomfortable about staying the same. And you have two choices. Stay in the bucket with them or climb out and never look back. And here's the thing. Sometimes people don't even try to pull you back. Sometimes they just stop moving forward altogether. That's when you realize the real challenge isn't just people resisting your growth. It's knowing when to let go of those who aren't growing with you. Let's look at this through another analogy. The elevator effect. Think of your personal growth like an elevator. When you start your journey, you get in on the ground floor with a bunch of people, friends, family, coworkers, whoever. But as you start leveling up, you realize something. Not everyone is willing to go higher. Some people get off at the first few floors, some refuse to move at all. And here's where most people mess up. They try to drag people to the top with them. But see, you can't. Because some people aren't willing to rise. And if you try to hold on to them, they'll only slow down your ascent. The higher you go, the smaller your circle gets. And that's okay. So how do you actually let go? Knowing you need to distance yourself is one thing. Actually doing it is another. Here's some tips. How to detach without unnecessary drama. First, create space naturally. Stop texting first. Stop making plans. See how much effort they make. Most of the time, distance happens on its own. Second, don't explain yourself too much. If someone asks why you're distancing yourself, keep it simple. I'm focusing on my goals right now. You don't owe a full breakdown. And third, focus on your growth. The more you level up, the more the right people will naturally come into your life. See, letting go isn't about cutting people off harshly. It's about prioritizing your future over familiarity. Now here's the real question. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay in spaces that no longer serve you? Keep connections that drain you? Or are you willing to make the hard choice and move forward, even if it means leaving some people behind? And that's it for today's episode of Hard Truths. If this message hit home, don't just sit on it. Send it to someone who needs to hear it. I'd be grateful if you shared this episode and tagged me at DannyLYVIN. And let me know, what big moves are you making? What ties are you cutting? What shifts are you stepping into? I want to hear your story. Because remember, not everyone is meant to go with you. And the sooner you accept that, the faster you'll grow. See you next time.